Hi, it's Patsy again. I've come on to do this reading. Now, this reading is a spirit reading, a message from spirit for somebody who I'm going to call Miss F. It's for someone who asked me a little while ago to try and do them a reading, but I've not been able to. So today I've got a bit of time and I thought I'd come on and do this. And upload it so people can see how I do a spirit reading. And I can also, I don't think she's on Facebook, but I can send her the link for her to be able to watch it, because it's easier for me to upload it to YouTube for her to send the link for her to be able to see it. So like I said, this is an actual spirit reading for Miss F, I'll call her. I've already done the cards because it's took me about half hour to get these cards out, because when I do spirit readings, I don't just shuffle and take cards. I shuffle and they let them throw them at me as I'm asking the question. So sometimes it can be a long process and sometimes it's quite quick. Today it took about half hour, so I've laid them all out. I haven't always got a set amount. I very often start with a set amount in my mind, but it depends what comes out at me, whatever they throw at me. So sometimes it doesn't look much of a spread because it all becomes a bit wild and all over. And I've also got some angel cards which you can't see what I laid out, what I'll end the reading with. But I always work in card readings as well, under the CERT, C-E-R-T, the first few cards to clarify who it is come through, the E part to give me evidence of the person who comes through, and the third part, the reason why they've come through, and then the T is to tie it all up, and I tie it all up with an angel reading. So I'll start the reading. And like I said, if anybody's interested in, one of these readings, I'd have to upload it, but I can use a false name. You'll just have to let me know. So I'll start with the top row. So the first questions that I asked was, who is coming through today to speak to Miss F, who wants to get a message to Miss F. And the first card that I got was the Hierophant. So it's a male figure who's come through, somebody who was in this life very wise, doesn't have to be somebody who was very learned in that respect. He could be, they could easily be a teacher or something like that, but it was somebody who was wise, somebody who they would have gone to for any advice, whatever they needed. I know that Miss F has a father in spirit, and I know that's who she was hoping to connect with. So to me this feels like a father figure, and somebody that she trusted to be able to go to whenever she needed counselling, wise counselling, not counselling, but advice, wise advice. And she knew when she went to him that he would tell her what she needed, tell her what was what, not what she needed to hear. He was, the feeling I'm getting is he would have told her whatever, whether it was something she wanted to hear or she didn't want to hear, but it would always be the perfect advice. And this is the kind of feeling I'm getting with this gentleman, that he loved without reason, but he never held back either. So if he had strong views on something, then he would make sure that they was aware of these strong views. He wasn't no sucker, that kind of feeling. He wasn't particularly strict or anything like that, but he wasn't a pushover either. He was loving and caring, gentle, but he told you what he thought. He didn't hold back if he thought you needed to be told, but you always knew that when you went to him you would get the best advice ever. So this is the kind of feeling I'm getting around this man. So when this card jumped out, another card come jumping out with it. There we go. It's the Ace of Blades. Now, to me, the dog isn't the thing that's standing out. It's the hospital environment, the x-rays, and the pointing to the upper chest area. So this gentleman would have passed away in hospital or due to complications at hospital, but it's something affected the upper area, this area where they're pointing. This is the gentleman would have suffered from some kind of effect in his upper body, and sadly that's how he would have left this world. So this is what I'm getting with this gentleman. So I then asked to tell me a little bit about himself, what his life, you know, what he his life here on earth was all about. And we have the Ten of Cups, but when I do these readings, it's very rare that I would actually take notice of the actual card name. It's the images that I'm drawn to, and this tells me he lived for his family. He lived for his children. There's 2 children at the front here, a dog, the home, and you just look at that picture and it's like a complete little family unit. Everybody's happy, everybody's, you know, in a good place, and this is what he wanted in his life. He wanted this happy family, he wanted this family unit. The next card that I got was this one. So he was a hard-working gentleman. He loved to use his hands. This gentleman's, you know, is busy building things with his hands, and I think this gentleman would have loved to have built things with his hands or kept his hands busy in some way. I don't think he was an office type of person. Well, in fact, I know he wasn't an office type of person. He was very hands-on in what his job was, and what he also liked to do on a hobby kind of thing. So you know, this gentleman, what's coming up is somebody who liked to do things with his hands, liked to build things, liked to work manually, and that kind of thing. And there's another gentleman stood next to him, so there was probably somebody special, a special friend that he did these kind of things with, you know. He had a close friendship with people who shared his interest, that kind of thing. But he was also very hard working to build for his family also. So the next card that we got is this one. He lived for his 3 girls. That's what he's saying. He lived for his 3 girls. And I think from what I'm feeling and from the little I know, that that was probably the most important part of his life, his 3 girls. And we now also have the 6 of Cups. So all these cards where he's describing his life and what his life was all about this time round, it's all about his family. Every single card so far has been about his family. We've had the one where he said, telling me about his work, manual kind of thing, and his love of building things and making things. But the most important thing to him while he was here on this earth, and still, is his family. And remembering, you know, the past when they was little, and seeing them growing up and all the rest of it, his family. And that's the main word I keep getting, his family was the most important. And then the last card, again, it's family. So all this gentleman wants to talk about the important, you know, what he did on this earth, what he wanted to get, and what he received was his family. And that was his main ambition in life, to look after and see to his family, to make sure that they was well cared for, well provided for, and known that they was well loved. And this gentleman comes across as a very loving family guy. He liked to play hard, but he also worked hard, but he never lost sight of the importance of his family, his children, and his extended family even. But yeah, he was a thoroughly Family Guy, and with it ending on this, I think Christmas was a very special time to him. But I also know that it's been hard for the family since he left this earth, Christmas especially. And this is his way of saying he recognises that things have been difficult around Christmas and things what went on around Christmas. But don't forget, with the Six of Cups card here, is telling you don't forget all the happy times that we had when I was here at Christmas, and keep their memories cherished inside of you, because you're his three girls, and that's what he worked so hard for, because his family was everything to him and still is. So that is the gentleman who's come through. So the next questions that I asked was why is he coming through, what messages has he got. So we'll start with the why has he come through, and the first card is the Death card. Well, obviously, you know, it's a spirit message, so obviously that, but we all know that death in tarot doesn't mean literal death, but it means that there's been big changes around the lady that this reading's for. Not just the death of her father, but things that are still going on in her life, what have caused a lot of pain. Things have changed unrecognisably from when her father was here. And this is why he's come through. He recognises that things have changed and she's gone through a lot since he passed, that these changes haven't been a pleasant experience for her. And the other card what come out with it was the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups to me is the mother figure. So there's been changes around the mother figure that has gone on since the father has passed, and the lady who this reading for has found it particularly hard to come to terms with all these changes, and her dad just wants her to know that he's aware that she's struggling with these changes, and is aware that it's been a huge change, and things have become very unrecognisable, not just for his loss but around the mother figure. And the next card that he gave me was this one, and you can see here it's like a mother figure in the background, but the two children are not taking no notice of her. There's a rift there. There's a rift with the mother figure. They still have each other, but neither of them are happy about this mother figure. And even though the mother figure is probably reaching out to them, they're not even looking our way. That they're moving on. They've this rift isn't mended, and is aware that this rift is going on. The next card is the card of protest. So this is his way of saying that he knows that it's a way that that you can protest against what's going on, how you can show your anger, how you can show that you're not happy with how things are gone, but he's also saying at the same time you're being met with a lot of what's the word, not authority, but a lot of they're not bending, they're not going to give up, so it doesn't matter how much you protest, you're not getting through them, so you're not getting through to your mother. She knows you're protesting, she knows you're not happy, she don't care, you're not going to get through to her. She's built these barriers up, and she's protected. There's probably people around her as well, that she feels that she's got everything she needs, she's got her protection. You can protest as much as you want in the background because you're not getting through, you're not bothering her. Excuse me. Then the next card is this one. Now this to me is telling me that the pain has gone deep. You know, you're feeling this pain. It's not just surface pain, it's a pain that you're feeling deep within you. These changes, what's come on since the passing of your father, have badly affected you and stained you, if you like. You know, her skin is now being tattooed. It's never going to look the same again, and that's how your dad is sort of letting you know things aren't going to be the same no more. You're going to have to accept what's going on with what's happened since he's left. And yes, he's aware that it's very deep, and he knows that the scarring is going to take a long time to heal. He's well aware of that, but he also wants you to know there's nothing you can do to change it, because she's not listening. You can protest as much as you want. Oh, excuse me. You can protest as much as you want, but she's not listening. She has what she wants around her, protecting her. You can protest as much as you want, and it's hurting you more than it's hurting them. And that is something that he wants you to be aware of. Again, this came up before. So a tattoo might be something that you're thinking about doing. And he's got a smile on his face and he's saying, go on, do it. So if that's something that you're still thinking about doing, there you go. And then these two last cards here, what popped out. We have the 5 of Cups. There we go. You can see the figure over the tomb gravestone. The flowers in front. There's some fell over here what we've died and withered away. So this tells me that, and he knows that you're still in this stage of grief where you are finding it very, very difficult to carry on without him, almost like by visiting the grave and by putting flowers on it and what have you. That's your connection, but he's telling you it's not your connection. Your connection is here. He's here. He's not at the grave. He's not amongst these flowers. And yes, it's lovely to have a nice grave and flowers, but he's not there. He's all around you, and here he is waving to you. You know, I'm over here. I'm the light. I'm not this darkness. I'm the light. And he wants you to know that. He wants you to know that yes, it's lovely that, you know, he's got this lovely grave and he's got these lovely flowers, and you visit him and everything there. But he hates to see you sad. He hates to see you sad. He's here. He's the light. He's with you. You don't have to go there to be close to him. He's all around you. And that's what he wants you to know, that he sees how sad you get. He doesn't like seeing you sad. And the other card what come out with it was this one. So this is all about anxiety. This is all about, so there's times that he sees you when you just want to scream about the injustices of everything, how everything's gone wrong in your life, how things have not been the same since he's left. He's well aware of that, and he knows, you know, that you're finding that very hard to come to terms with, and he knows it's affecting you in many ways, and he knows that it's probably caused you a lot of sleepless nights and upset and feeling like your life has gone upside down on your head. He's aware of that, and he doesn't want that for you. He doesn't want this sadness around you. He wants you to know you can't change nothing here with the mother figure. You know, nothing is going to change there, nothing's going to budge there. So that is something that you will need to come to terms with, because there's no giving here. There's no giving. So what he does want for you is these 3 cards here. So let's pull these 3 cards and see what it is he wants for you. The first one, this one. Look at the joy on that child's face. It's utter joy at discovering things and finding a passion, and that's what he wants for you. He wants you to discover the passion of life. He wants you to give your children the, you know, the passion for life, and to share with them, you know, that love and what he shared with you. You know, he knows that you love your children, and he wants you to get that passion back in your life to do the things you love to do with your children, to really enjoy your life again, and to put the sadness behind you. That's what he wants more than anything. And this card, he wants you to concentrate on your family. He wants you to live life to the full. He wants you to put everything into celebrating while you're, you know, celebrating his life, your life, and your family's life. He wants you to light that flame. And there's 4 flames here, so there's 4 of you. That, you know, this family unit, there's 4, and he wants this family of 4 to have that flame ignited and to do things together and to live life to the full. And there we go, she's living her life to the full. And this lady is full of confidence, full of life, and she's loving herself. She is, you know, the star of the show. She's confident, she's in control, and that's what he wants for you. He wants you to get that confidence back. He wants you to get back in control of life. He wants you to get that passion back in your life, and he wants you to, more than anything, enjoy life. He wants you to live life to the full. He doesn't want to see you sad. He doesn't want to see you upset. He just wants you to live your life how you want to live it, and live it to the full. So that's his message for you. That's what he wants for you. So I'm going to tie it up now with these 3 angel cards what have come out for me. Normally I only pull 1, but there was 3 chucked out at me today, so we will go with the 3. The first one, connect with music, is what he's saying. He's telling you to connect with music. So he's probably sending you messages through music. If there's some music that you've been hearing lately that reminding you of your dad, or words in the song that's reminding you of something that your dad said, then that is a message for you from him. He wants you to connect with music. He wants you to find joy in music, but listen as well to the lyrics when it comes up. When there's something makes you stop, listen, because there's a message in that for you from him. The next one, he wants you to know you're beautiful, and I think that's lovely. He's telling you, honor yourself, be who you are, be true to yourself, and know that you're his beautiful girl. And I think that's gorgeous. That made me tear up a bit, actually. And last one is loved ones in heaven. Know that even though he's no longer on the airplane, he never leaves you. He's always with you. He sends you signs that he's with you. Take notice of them signs, and don't disbelieve them signs, because he's just letting you know that he's around, and he's with you constantly, and he's supporting you and trying to help you as best as he can. And that's his message from Ayumbi says. And I hope you could take some of that, and I hope that others probably gain something, because I know a lot of the time when you do these kind of readings, other people can take messages from someone else's message. So you'll have to let me know in comments below. I know Miss F probably can't comment because, like I said, I don't believe she's on YouTube, and I will just send her the link through another mean. But thanks for watching. Bye for now.